Hello and welcome to your astrological vibrations for Friday, February 7th, 2025 by Gaia Blooming. I am Mimi, and our energy mantra for today is I value the good vibrations, and I know sometimes I have to pass the boss to get there. So Jess was having a conversation with Joe, and there's this person who we've been helping who does not handle adversity well. And I just said to Joe, I was like, well, because this person likes video games. I was like, any of these adversity, he has to just recognize that these are like bosses. And he's just got to pass them to get to where he wants to go. And I think that's so much of life, right? We have these bosses, or it's like a threshold, right? That we have to move through to get to where we want to go. And, there's different layers of it, different levels of it, different challenges that the bosses can provide. But our work is to make it through these energies to get to where we're going. And I think today's astro is so like that. Before that situation, I was sitting here really marveling at many people that I've been working with and clients and friends who are making it through their bosses, who are making it through these sometimes serious situations and holding space for that miracle and leveling up and finding all the good that is bubbling up in their situations as they face it, knowing that there's good coming from this, even as they face the adversity. And this is today's energy. So we're still hanging out with Neptune and North Node right there together, 28 degrees, hanging out. And this is beautiful and lovely. And we still want to hold space for the faith that we can beat these bosses. But today's energy is definitely interesting. And I definitely heard from people experiencing this this week and, this month and this year and this decade and this century and all that. So today we have both the Sun and Mercury who are building to a conjunction, who are building to a Cazimi in an inconjunct with Mars. And so inconjuncts, the energies just don't know how to work together. And I'm hearing the song. The Sun and Mercury in Aquarius are looking for the good vibrations. They want the Beach Boys version and they want the Marky Mark version. They just want the good vibrations. And Mars still retrograde in Cancer is like, feelings. I still have to feel and move through these feelings. And so we're in an inconjunct because, again, we want to get to the land of this feels good, everything's working out for me, everything's in my favor, and it is. And at the same time, there's emotions to move through. There's feels about everything that's unfolding. There's new things that are happening that are generating feels that we've got to experience. And they're all part of the game. To me, this energy kind of does feel like a boss, right? Because this inconjunct also feels like, again, we have this vision of what this world could be, the vision of the future, the vision of what could unfold in your life. And yet here we are, kind of stuck in the muck, not really moving with this Mars retrograde and lots of feelings coming up along it. And maybe even some reactive energies. So the point is, both of these places serve. Mars in Cancer, in emotional energy, it serves. And the Sun and Mercury hanging out together in Aquarius, being like, it could be so light. We could live in the clouds. This could be wonderful. Also serves. And we have to remember that. And work with both as they are showing up, but holding space with the faith. That's that Neptune North Node energy, being like, the better it gets, the better it gets. Things are happening. Things are unfolding. And I'm promising you that a mindset that knows that helps unfold it even more so. And I'm feeling like the mind and emotions, as I look at this astro, are kind of the bosses that we have to face right? Because we can have the mentality like, yes, I want that beautiful future, I want all that, but when your mind's like, but this is terrible and this sucks and no thank you to that and rah, about that thing. And again, you can have your feelings. You can have your vents. The problem is we often get stuck there in the rah, everything's falling apart and it doesn't look good and I'm scared. We get stuck there instead of leaning back into the faith and leaning into like, I see where we're going. I see this beautiful vision for the future. And I can't tell you that this weekend is going to be any different as we build to this Cazimi. With the sun and Mercury building into a Cazimi, building into a conjunction. A Cazimi means in the heart of the sun. With Mercury moving into the heart of the sun, our mental energy is exasperated. It is that the right word? Exacerbated. That's the word. I was like, that doesn't sound right. Exacerbated. It's expanded and it's big. And our antennas that are picking up the world energies are also, whoa, picking up a lot. And the empaths are like, mercy, mercy. And then Mars, finishing up its retrograde process in Cancer, plus the Pisces energy that's happening right now, are bringing in the tidal feels on top of all this energy. And so facing the mental boss and the waterworks boss, oh my gosh, an astrology video game. Oh my gosh, an astrology video game that works with the daily transits. Now that would be genius if I could do that. That would be fun. What a way to learn. Holy cow. And you might have ideas coming in out of the blue, just like that one that literally just happened right here, as we have the Sun and Mercury coming together, because it's all about the innovation and looking into the future and moving in that way. So stay tuned for those things happening in and through all of this as well. Now, on top of this, we have some other interesting energies that are also happening. We have Venus connecting, colluding with Pluto. We have the Sun connecting to Chiron, and Mercury not far behind, also building into a connection with Chiron, and the Moon in Gemini, again expanding our antennas and making several connections as well, including a connection to Neptune and the North Node, which is like, but where are you leaving your thinking? When you're finished spinning, do you leave yourself in the spin cycle? Do you leave your thoughts in the washing machine? Or are you letting them spin out, dry, putting them in the dryer, and then letting them become something more, something tangible, something cleaner, right? I don't know if cleaner is the right word, but you can understand kind of the analogy that I'm going with there. Venus and Pluto, this is a sextile. It's a beautiful connection. We're going to have a few layers of this as Venus prepares for a retrograde or goes through its retrograde. We're not there yet, but here's the first layer of it. And so the yin is asking or being asked to go through a transformation with this energy. And so in this, with Venus connecting into Pluto, I'm like half in the scope and half in like, what would this look like in a video game? Oh, Mimi's brain. With Venus connecting into Pluto, the yin is being transformed. And again, it's transforming in the nature of vibrational energy. And so here Venus is like, I'm gonna feel the feels because this is part of my work. This is part of what I need to do. I need to feel the feels. I need to move them through. But then being responsible to where you take yourself and seeing where you're leaving yourself vibrationally, and if you're supporting what you feel is the good. Are you supporting the God? Are you supporting the faith energy in and through all this? Sun connecting to Chiron. This is also a sextile energy, and there's healing involved in this. And so to me, it's feeling like as you're accepting all these parts of yourself and all of the bosses that you have to face, there's healing for you. But again, the healing is often going to happen when we bring ourselves back to recognizing that we are vibrational beings. Our thoughts provide vibrations. Our feelings provide vibrations. Our actions in the world provide vibrations. There's more things I know that we do that provide vibrations. Are we bringing our awareness back to that and getting it aligned? Because I think so much of what we're seeing it unfold in the world is part of unchecked vibrations, which can be unchecked, unconscious, unchecked feelings that we're spewing and need to like mop up. So very interesting energies. Now again, I will remind you that the moon today is checking in. It's checking in with Mercury, it's checking in with Saturn, it's checking in with the sun, and then it's checking in with Neptune in the North Node. And so our thoughts are going to be kind of Tarzaning all over the place. Tarzan, go where you need to go. Think what you need to think. Vent what you need to vent. I am a fan of venting. I think it's helpful because we have to sometimes talk about where we're at. But I also love to be a supporter of my venti friends or venti clients or venti people that I care about. Venti siblings sometimes. Because it can be shifted. And anything, any place that we're at, any contrast, anything that we don't like, it can be alchemized. It can be transformed. And to know that is powerful. So really, really interesting energies walking us through. But as the moon squares Neptune, it's also squaring the South Node. Okay, so this is the last piece that we're going into. South Node in Virgo is reminding us to hocus pocus, hone our focus. We can get stuck in that critic, or we can move it to faith. And I think it's just keep working into the miracles, working into faith. Notice where you're critical. Notice where you're uncomfortable. Notice where you don't like it. Don't get stuck there. Top of my cards is the Magician. This energy has so much magic for us. These bosses have magic for us. The moon is moving into Cancer this weekend. So again, our thoughts and mind, our emotions, they're all gonna be working. The Sun, Mercury, Cazimi conjunction, that's gonna be working our mind. Moon's gonna be working our emotions. It can feel a little tornado-y inside. So you gotta sort through, you gotta move through these energies. You can't just let them like go unchecked. Focus. I love the Hermit card. The Existence card is in here. This is not the Existence. This is the Existence card. This is the Aloneness card. The Existence card is in here, but this is the Aloneness card. But both of these energies are solitary. They're in their own energy field. They're calibrating to themselves instead of calibrating to the chaos in the world. And I think at this time, this is really important. Two more lonely figures. I don't want to call them lonely. Alone figures. Laziness, resting, relaxing, daydreaming. This is a card of your wishes coming true. Your wishes can and will come true. It's going to require some of that inner work, turning in, dealing with some of these emotional energies. The only card that deals with anybody else is the comparison card. And the comparison card is like, you can get really turned up around other people's energies and other people's stories, but you really don't have to. Cat Chaos gave me quite a few cards, so we're going to just move through them fairly quickly. We got Warrior Goddess, and I think to look at and honor all of the layers of yourself, your thoughts and emotions, and be able to face them and take on the responsibility mantle for them is powerful. We got the Emotions card right here with a little dragon energy going on. So like I said, there is going to be some emotional energy coming through. That's not bad. And it's not bad to emote and feel what you got to feel. Just don't leave yourself in the puddle. Take off your clothes, put them in the washing machine. There's that analogy again, right? Cranial Hado. This is one of the water crystal cards. Peace of mind. How can you bring yourself to a place of peace even if there's chaos out there. Your chaos will just feed the chaos. It's okay to be there, but don't leave yourself there. Oh, I love this. Golden Apple. Rewriting. The Queen codes. Her story. Healing distortion. What I'm feeling with this, with rewriting, is sometimes we have to rewrite the script that our mind is giving us. Just because your mind is seeing something some way doesn't mean that it's actually true. And it's also not to say that you should gaslight yourself and be like, that's not true. But sometimes your mind is gaslighting you. So sometimes you got to catch it when it starts the spin cycle. The Fool, we've got a little wolf energy. Wolf energy has been showing up for us. But the Fool is opening up a new pathway, starting a new path. And I would like to say that on our path, as we open up, there's always friends and support there for us. And that is always an important lesson to me. On one of my Fool journeys, it really was the animals and the plants that were my friends on the journey. And it was in connecting to them that I was transformed. Finally, we've got a little sensitive sloth. So while the mind may be worrying this weekend, Moon in Cancer, Mars retrograde in Cancer, this Pisces energy, it might be asking you to slow down. Mars inconjunct Sun and Mercury. You may want to be moving fast. Sensitive sloth says, slow down, find tranquility, tolerance, diplomacy. Peaceful spirit of the trees. Teach me stillness in these winds of change. Wow, perfect. And there's a heart on the back. So, just love this card all the way around. I always say sloths are like Buddhic energy to me. So, little Buddha support from the animal friends. I'll leave that there. I know that was a lot. This energy is a lot. And it's all okay. And watch your triggers. People are being so triggered right now. But try not to be lashing out at those who love you and are kind to you and in the same mindset, because this energy is so triggering. See where you can find kindness and deal with that pain that's showing up. So that's it for today. If you want to book a reading, if you want to dig into your chart and work through these energies, that's actually one of my favorite things. I feel like I'm really good at helping people alchemize the energies. Maybe it's my Scorpio Sag energies that go on. But email me, we can book a reading. And besides that, the better it gets, the better it gets. There's more than enough love in the world for you. You have the power, and may your guiding light be strong. I'm going to get it. May your guiding light be strong, and know that you can trust the unfolding process. And remember that you and me, we are the solution. Namaste.